Sergeant Ricci, and this is your Channel 50 News. It's October, and that means we can officially wear OCPs instead of ABUs. If you don't already have a pair, you might have to wait a while. OCPs are only on sale at a handful of bases while the Air Force makes the uniform transition. By 2020, all airmen will be required to wear OCPs. There's a lot of new things going on at Westover this month. The base gym is now open 24 hours. Before you take advantage of that, you'll have to fill out a form and register your CAC for after-hour access. The form is available at the gym and in the fitness section of the Westover Air Reserve Base mobile app. Also new at Westover, changes to how you get on base. This month, the James Street Gate is scheduled to become the main gate. It will remain open 24 hours a day, with the Westover Road Gate switching to 12 hours a day. Once determined, the hours will be posted on the Westover Facebook page. October also means Oktoberfest is back at the club. I went last year and it was so much fun. Saturday night of the October UTA, head over to the club for free German food, a DJ, and other fun. A grand prize giveaway worth $25,000 is up for grabs at this year's Oktoberfest, so don't miss it. You can find the event flyer on the Westover Facebook page for more information. And looking ahead, Employer Day is coming up on November 2nd. It's a chance for Air Force and Marine reservists to bring their civilian bosses on base for a day-long tour. If you're interested in inviting your boss, RSVP to the Public Affairs Office by the end of the October UTA. Also next month, an opportunity to march in Springfield's Veterans Day Parade on November 11th. If you want to volunteer, email Senior Master Sergeant Zona at the address below. If you haven't downloaded the Westover mobile app yet, get those phones out now. Just search for 439th Airlift Wing in your app store and click download. The app has everything you need, from a directory of phone numbers to upcoming events. You can also use your CAC to log into certain websites through the app, which I think is the coolest part. We're also on Facebook. Like Westover Air Reserve Base for the latest information and photos. And that's it for this month's Channel 50 update. I'm Staff Sergeant Ricci, and we'll see you next month. Bye.
Airmen from multiple career fields took part in one of the largest mobility exercises held at Westover in recent years, and in fact was the largest exercise held across Air Force Reserve Command in September of 2018. More than 200 reserve citizen airmen grabbed their gear for the September mobility exercise, held the 16th through the 20th at the Dogpatch Training Area at Westover and at the former Plattsburgh Air Force Base in northeastern New York State. Planners with the 439th Logistics Readiness Squadron laid the groundwork for the entire exercise. The highlights included ability to survive and operate training and loading cargo and patients onto C-130 and C-17 aircraft. The exercise was designed to assist logistics and medical squadrons in using mobile hospitals and performing aeromedical evacuations more efficiently. Aerial port reservists also took part in moving passengers and cargo from one base to another. The exercise kicked off the UTA weekend of September 15th and 16th. Logistics Readiness Vehicle operators shuttled airmen to Dogpatch amid some muggy and foggy September weather, while another group got marshaled to the former Air Force Base in New York that Monday. Wing inspection team members kept a close eye on all activities, making sure objectives of the exercise were met while always ensuring safety first. Other units that participated in the exercise included maintenance, security forces, and wing staff agencies such as the Finance Office, Safety, and Public Affairs. Civilian and military members with the Emergency Management Office of the 439th Civil Engineering Squadron provided briefings on disaster response, chemical warfare gear, and litter carrying. An unexpected element in the exercise was Mother Nature. At just about the same time as the MOBEX, Hurricane Florence was barreling up past the Carolinas. And though it had lost most of its strength, it still dumped several inches of rain on New England as the exercise progressed throughout the week. And to close out activities, LRS planners escorted Major General Randall Ogden, 4th Air Force Commander, throughout Dogpatch. The previous day, the General had flown the wing's last C-5M Super Galaxy to the base as part of an arrival ceremony.
That's really what it's about. It's just about communication and talking to each other and sharing who's deployed, who's getting ready to go, and kind of getting the key spouses involved in the squadron as part of that leadership team. So in conjunction with the commander, the first sergeant, and then at the staff meeting, I talked to the commanders about the group UDM, Unit Deployment Managers, kind of being that conduit and getting that information to key spouses.
So we're out here at the First Sergeant's Key Spouses first cookout. Is this the first cookout?
Second annual.
Second annual cookout, but this is your first.
No, I was here last year.
Okay, I misunderstood. I thought that you were a new Key Spouse. You've been doing this for a while.
3 or 4 years, I'm not sure exactly, but
Okay. What's your name?
I'm Liz Jelinas, I'm with the 42nd.
And what is the event that's going on today?
This is a get-together with the first shirts, the chiefs, just to get the key spouse and them to get together and get to know each other.
What does it mean to be a Key Spouse?
A key spouse is the person that keeps everyone connected, that whether your person's deployed or your family doesn't know what's going on, the key spouse is what unites you.
And how did you first hear about it, and what kind of drew you to become a Key Spouse?
So my husband was deploying, I think 3 years ago, and he said, okay, our unit has a big group of people deploying and we need some people. Would you mind being that person? So I stepped up and did it.
And then how was it? Like, did you talk to a lot of the spouses?
I got to know a couple of the spouses. I have another key spouse that does it with me, Denise Martinez, and you just give everyone a call and say, how's it going? We did a couple get-togethers at the squadron and just supporting people.
Are there any men in the Key Spouse group?
We have one, I think, 1 or 2.
We're out here at the First Sergeant Key Spouse Cookout, and I have one of the newest members of the Key Spouse organization. What's your name?
Jenna Barabee.
Jenna Barabee?
Yes.
And what squadron are you representing?
LRS.
LRS squadron. Tell me about what made you decide to become a Key Spouse.
So growing up, my dad was a reservist at Westover. So when my husband became a reservist at Westover, I was interested in giving back and staying involved. And I just always kind of felt at home here, so it's nice to be back.
That's really cool. Do you know what it entails yet, and what some of your duties will be?
Learning. I did the training in May, so excited to really get started. Calling some families, checking in on them when their loved ones deployed. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay. And what about today's event? What could you tell us about what's going on today?
So it is Key Spouses and the First Sergeants. We're just here cooking out, having a good time, getting to know everyone. So
yeah, everyone just mingling. I bet you met some people you've never known before.
Yes, many people I've never met, so it's been fun.
Okay, cool. We're ready for those burgers, too. Well, we're here at the Key Spouse Cookout. What would you call this event, the Key Spouse Cookout?
I believe it's the First Sergeant Key Spouse Cookout.
First Sergeant Key Spouse Cookout.
Or you know what? We'll call it the Key Spouse First Sergeant Cookout.
Yeah, we'll give them credit first.
Absolutely, because they're the ones that are important here.
Behind every strong First Sergeant, there's a Key Spouse.
Absolutely. Every unit needs both.
Why don't you tell me what this event's about? What's going on today?
So today they're having us get together to informally know each other. Every unit has a First Sergeant and a Key Spouse, but we don't all necessarily know who's with what group. And I think this is more or less a meet and greet. And there's something going on, some kind of shenanigans about a scavenger hunt or something.
That's the rumor.
Yeah, what's going on? Tell me about the scavenger hunt. What do you know about it?
What I read in the pamphlet, which was that there's going to be one. That's pretty much it.
Going to be a scavenger hunt. Going to be some burgers. Having fun out here at the Key Spouse First Sergeant Cookout. This is your brand new Key Spouse.
Yes, sir.
So why don't you tell us what your name is and what squadron you're representing?
Melissa Vigu, and I'm representing the AES squadron.
The AES, do you know what that stands for?
Aeromedical Evacuation Squadron.
Yes. So Melissa, tell me, what was it that made you decide to become a Key Spouse?
I wanted to support my wife, support the military, and try to do bigger and better things to help everybody out.
And I know you're brand new at it, but have you had the chance to, what's the word I'm looking for? What have you done so far as a Key Spouse, I guess?
My favorite thing has been just interacting with all the unit members, being here for the air show, and just getting to know everybody inside and out.
The air show was cool. I was here too. It was hot.
Yes, it was.
So, what do you think about this event? Are you meeting a lot of new people?
I just got here, so not yet, but I do. I like socializing and I like meeting new people, so this is something I look forward to.
First Sergeant Sindelar from the Communications Squadron. Tell me, what's going on today? What is this event?
This is the First Sergeant / Key Spouse Barbecue. It's the second annual. It's just kind of like one of those events where we bring everybody together, where we're outside of uniforms, outside of the squadron, just trying to get to know each other.
Tell me about what made you decide to become a First Sergeant.
So when I came here, I came from the Guard, and I didn't really have any interaction with my First Sergeant. So I actually started interacting with my First Sergeant more when I started over at the Maintenance Squadron, and I realized how much they could really do for us and how much I missed out on my years at the Guard. And then I realized I want to do that. I want to help airmen further their career. I want to help them become good airmen, good NCOs, good senior NCOs. So I started pursuing it, and I started asking a lot of questions and kind of wanted to be an additional duty, and then the opportunity came up. There have been packages submitted, and so I submitted my package and I got selected, and it was one of the best career choices I made besides joining the Air Force.
Did you have to switch squadrons, or are you with the squadron that... What was your career field before First Sergeant?
So I was with the AMXS, I was an aircraft mechanic, and I was actually an aircraft mechanic in the Guard as well. So no, I had to switch squadrons, and it's better that way because when you're kind of in a squadron and you are friends with everybody, and then you become a First Sergeant, because sometimes you have to do a little bit of discipline. It's better if you go outside of your unit because you can start fresh, where people know you as a First Sergeant, not as, Tech Sergeant Sindelar or anything like that. From the Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, it's like you walk in and now you're like, okay, you're a First Sergeant.
Thank you.
We weren't the kind to go looking for the spotlight. We didn't need our hands held. We did our jobs just fine without getting pats on the head. Of course, when something went wrong, or something got busted, yeah, that's when the spotlight found us. The Air Force never did manage to build a plane that would fix itself. We're maintainers, flightline warriors. And when it's not hot, miserable, dirty work, it's cold, miserable, dirty work. We love it. We hate it, but we love it. Because we love this country. We love making things right. We love the challenge. We love the pressure, the deadlines, the long hours. If it was easy, we wouldn't get that rush of accomplishment. We live for that rush, and we get it every day. With our hands, we make that jet fly again. We turn a bunch of metal and circuits back into a missile. We're inside these machines, in the cockpits, in the landing gear, the munitions, the engines, every button every pilot ever pushed. That's us. You think a B-52 has a lot of complicated wires? You've never seen how we're wired. We're part of a team no one on the outside will ever understand. You won't get it until you're in it, until you're one of us. That's our world inside the red line. You enter our world where we tell you. People try to tell us all the time that our jobs are just as important as the pilots. It's not a competition. If we don't do our jobs right, people get hurt. Of course our jobs are important. Do the unsung heroes need to be sung about every now and then? Maybe. But don't sing too long because with all due respect, we've got work to do. We'll roll our eyes and then we'll roll up our sleeves. We'll get it done because if we don't get it done, it doesn't get done. We know we're good. We don't want other people to know we're good. We just want them to know that we know. The satisfaction we get, we keep on the inside. We are a special breed, maintainers. We're a team, crazy loyal to our country and tirelessly devoted to our mission. We pull 12s, we work nights and weekends, we don't sleep, and we stick together. If it breaks, we fix it, no matter what. We are the men and women who keep this Air Force flying. We are the driving force. We're the glue, we're the sweat, we're the wrenches in the coffee. And if you want to know the truth, there's only one reason maintainers couldn't fix the whole world. Can't fit the whole world into a hangar. Aim high, airmen.
I'm Master Sergeant Andrew Biscoe with another edition of Westover Looks Back. This is building 1100. Most of us know it as building 1100, a number, but there's much more to it than that. Through the years, this base has seen this building busy all the time through the decades of service with the base, first opening in 1939. This is one of the original base buildings remaining today, standing from those many, many years ago when the base rose over tobacco fields here in Chicopee, Massachusetts. The first part of the base was built in 1939, and this building rose right here by the base ellipse. It later would house the office of one of the most famous generals the world has ever known, and one of the most famous Air Force generals of World War II and later the Cold War. General Curtis E. LeMay had his office right in this building as a lieutenant colonel. He commanded one of the bomb groups here, and just before heading out to the war, lived in neighboring Holyoke and would commute to the gate right here at the base and work in this office right here as Lieutenant Colonel Curtis LeMay. Of course, years later, he would return to Westover as a 4-star general commanding the Strategic Air Command, which took over the base in 1955 and was here until 1974 when the Air Force Reserve took over. This building has seen many changes aside from General LeMay once being in it. It was once the home of the 57th Air Division headquarters. The 57th Air Division was part of the massive SAC hierarchy that was here when 8th Air Force ran operations at Westover from 1955 to 1970. The 57th Air Division was just under 8th Air Force and ran the 99th Bombardment Wing's B-52 and KC-135 operations. The 57th Air Division was commanded by a one-star general and was here at Westover from 1956 until 1969. Since that time, Building 1100 has also hosted various administrative offices for the Air Force Reserve, most specifically after 1974 when the then 439th Tactical Airlift Wing ran operations here at the base, until 1987 when it became the 439th Military Airlift Wing with the C-5s. With the reduction in forces here and the turnover from SAC to the Air Force Reserve in 1974, this building still remained active and important to the Air Force Reserve, at one time being a headquarters building for the then 439th Combat Support Group, which is, of course, the forerunner to today's 439th Mission Support Group. The base and this building, of course, remain active today with the Family Support and Airman and Family Readiness, known better today, and our base chapel staff, and the Pioneer Valley USO, which is a constant hub of the spirited volunteer activities for these dedicated volunteers, which help our operations today at Westover from one of the most famous buildings, Building 1100.